past week, you've put out plethora of allegations. The minister has come to debunk. You have come back, essentially shifting part of the goalpost. So, Bulgarian embassy, it's costing government some 5.3 million. Is it factual? That assertion you make. That property itself essentially ceased to be state land in 1972 or 74 when the government of Ghana granted a lease to the owner of the property whose executor then went to demolish that property on the land. But listen to the narrative. You accuse government of granting a 50-year lease or so to some foundation, Du Bois Foundation. Is it factual? And the minister comes to respond that no lease has been executed. You said you had the agreement that you've intercepted. Where in that agreement was it said that government was granting the Du Bois Foundation any lease? But you put it out there. To what end? Pure mischief? And then you say what? When Mr. Mahama becomes president again, he will do what? And this bill has not been assented to. At the time that Mr. Mahama was president, you did not think that it was important for you to protect state assets from politically exposed persons' acquisition. And so you did not dream of the bill at the time. It was now that you want power that you dreamt of bills, that you want to propose for the consideration of former President Mahama in the event that he becomes president again. And you think the labor unions believe you? You think they believe you? Increasingly, you are gaining a pension for falsehood and half-truths. And it's not good. You have a decent political career, young man. Let your credibility lead you in the course that we have embarked on. And you talk of PDS. Randy, you see, it is not in doubt that I incorporated a company called TG Energy in 2014. That company engaged some partners of it, Miracle and Co., which participated in the bid to dispose of ECG during your government's era in 2014. They had been shortlisted by your government as part of the 6 that are pre-qualified. It was when the Nana Danko Akufo-Addo government came that some other entities who had also been pre-qualified exited because of the president's insistence that the shareholding should be changed from, I believe, 80-20 in favor of foreign to 51-49 in favor of Ghanaian. And so that consortium made up of TG Energy, Miracle, and some others won that ECG concession. And because they had won, they incorporated PDS as the entity that the government of Ghana contracted with. These are matters of fact. And you say I was on the wrong side of history when I defended PDS. When that process under the MIDA compact started, you were in government. Which side of history did you speak on? Or at that time, consistent with your nature, your public spiritedness had gone into abeyance? Look, I committed no ill or wrong, Randy. And so your foot soldiers that you people sit on social media and give them hope of sorts that they in the very unlikely event that you people come to power, people like Egyapa Mercer will be held to account for account for what? Account for what? Nobody can do zilch to me. Because I did nothing. This matter has come up on 2 occasions at the appointments committee. When I was first nominated as Deputy Minister for Energy and subsequently as Minister responsible for tourism. I did no wrong. So let your your people that you always give fake hope to and ultimately deny them and leave them hanging believe in talk like that. What side of history are you on? Look, I will urge organized labor and particularly SNIT contributors that yes, the transaction relative to the sale as was proposed is no longer in place. But indeed and in fact, we ought to exact proper investment decision by SNIT on our behalf for the monies that we are contributing. We all contribute. I'm a contributor. But I cannot for the life of me support my pension fund being invested in an entity that is generating 1.5% return for me. I will never support it. So please, and you go and talk of this Afro barometer thing. You talk about every institution, but the political parties or opposition parties of which you are a member. You talk of everybody. You talk of the presidency. You talk of Shraj. You talk of judiciary. You talk of police, but never talk of the opposition parties. What was your own ranking? Please let them show it. It's not the best. I agree that these key democratic institutions are perceived in the manner that they are perceived by the broad majority of Ghanaians, especially the youth. And let's not single out any institution necessarily. Because the presidency that you criticize, it's not as if to say when Mr. Mahama was president, there was no occasion that he chartered a flight. Private. He did. And it was necessary. It is the case that Nana Akufo-Addo has chartered a flight on several occasions. Yes. But they were necessary. Maybe Mr. Mahama had only a need for it once. And Mr. Akufo-Addo has had a need for it more than on one occasion.